It's Reactor's first pause. Let's see how those wheels are holding up. Wood taken any damage from the melee?
Just a little on this side, but not very much. We managed to repair it. It's been okay.
And look at that there. Is that a secret weapon?
That's a screw. With a bit of luck, it'll dig into the decking on the arena floor and will give us a bit more traction.
And Daniel, what do we want to do to the other robots?
Try and get them in the pit.
Yay, smash it up. This team's pretty confident, really, aren't they?
Well, we are now. The first fight's always the worst.
Yeah.
Always.
And you got through the melee well?
Yeah. Only a
like...
bit of surface damage on the other face.
Yeah. And you're seeded 11, which is a pretty good place to be at this stage of the game, is it not? Are you Mr. Tactician?
Yeah.
What's the game plan?
We keep the arm down till we've rammed into them, then we bring it up, try and flip them.
Okay. Let's see you be wild. I'll help you push it in.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Reactor. Young Daniel Orton, 12 from the Stonehill High School. And Wild Thing. Isabel, who's 14, and Jake, 12, go to the Ash Manor School in Aldershot.
2, 1.
Wild Thing quickly out to attack the Reactor, as we thought they would be, trying to nudge in underneath Reactor. A ground clearance of 5 millimetres only on Reactor, but that's the Achilles heel. Wild Thing attacking the rear, and Reactor and dumping it onto the arena sidewall, showing good style immediately. Nick Adams at the controls. Isabel controls the weapon of Wild Thing. Jake Adams, the tactician, or sometimes the weapon operator as well. Another nudge this time on Reactor. Reactor, though, they put those studs there. You see the screws and the wheels getting very little traction on the arena floor, and out comes Dead Metal trying to grasp hold of Reactor. It'll be like soap in the shower. Throw your hands and away. I wonder if Dead Metal will have another chance. I wonder if Reactor will get a chance here to attack Wild Thing. Wild Thing doing all the aggressive work so far. Should it go to the judges in the end? Well, it doesn't look as if it will do at the moment, because Wild Thing very much on the attack. This time Reactor getting away from Sergeant Bash. Look, this is a very, very noticeable tactic from Wild Thing. Attack Reactor from the rear. Oh! The wheels are crumpled and ruptured by Sir Killalot. Those claws can lift over 100 kilos, sliced through armour plating. Dead Metal on the attack as well. Reactor trundles back to the safety of the arena. That's where they need to stay, and I wonder if this stage, Russell Orton, young Daniel and Martin Crouch are just thinking that let's stay out of trouble and live to fight another day, because Wild Thing very much on top here. Can Wild Thing finish Reactor off, though? And I'll tell you what, Sir Chromalot and the Steel Avenger will be looking on here, because if Wild Thing cannot finish Reactor off, they will have high hopes for later on. But it looks very much as if the Wild Thing will progress to the later stages, because look at Reactor now. A little bit of movement, but nothing more. Just backing away. Wild Thing on the attack again, this time a broadside. Turns to attack the rear once again, and look at that shot from Wild Thing. So much power generated by the 2 electrical industrial motors, and again a slam on Reactor. Caught on the fringe of the CPZ. Again, Dead Metal has a go. A shunt from Wild Thing, classic Robot Wars wedge shape. Dead Metal pushes Reactor away. Surely there can't be long left. Wild Thing anticipates victory. Very, very near the flames. Dangerously so, like a maddened moth. In comes Dead Metal with the circular saw. Now that's noticeable. Can't actually make much impact on Reactor's shell. Steel and aluminium as it is. So Reactor, had it been quicker and more punishing on attack, might have gone further. I think it's going to go to the judges, and Wild Thing have failed to finish Reactor off. It will go to the judges. For me, there can be only one winner. The Wild Thing will be disappointed with the way it ended.
Well, both robots were still moving at the end, so we've gone for a judge's decision. But whilst they make a decision, let's look at some of the highlights of that bruising encounter.
Right from the word go, Wild Thing went on the attack. That was the slam onto the arena sidewall. Now, I don't know whether or not that affected Reactor, whether any of the machinery came apart inside. They didn't have great power. Wild Thing into the CPZ, driving Reactor into the house robots. And again, look at the power of that shove. But you have to wonder about Wild Thing's weaponry, because all the damage to Reactor was caused by the house robots. Wild Thing thing. For me, by far the most impressive of the two robots, but didn't finish off the newcomers, Reactor.
Well, the judges have made a decision. Remember, it's style, control, aggression and damage. And they've gone for... You're nervous. You're nervous. They've gone for Wild Thing! The Reactor in meltdown, really.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't have enough power. We made a mistake. We changed to a lower gear, and we shouldn't have done. We should have left it at what it was.
And, you know, it did seem to be pushing you all over
That's
the place,
right,
really.
yeah. We just didn't have the power. Next year, we'll be back next year, and we'll make it better and more powerful.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
Confidence,
That's
confidence.
it.
Let's
We'll be
hear it
back.
for Reactor. Well, you're through to the next round. Are you excited?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of other tougher robots to come now, you know. I mean, how far do you think you can go on this?
I have no idea. Well, we're actually really glad to get this far, but...
Yeah. It's quite a powerful robot, but there's no real sort of weaponry on it, is there, really?
Well, there's the arm, but... which is just mainly for lancing and self-righting us and carrying them across the arena. Maybe it could do that.
Well, good luck. Hope you go as far as you possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Wild Thing!
So I hear it was a tactical error, boys.
Yes, unfortunately we decided to change to a different gear ratio, and it didn't work as well as previously.
A bit more pulling power and pushing power, but it didn't work out that way, so never mind.
Any regrets?
Push round to change the speed.
And you wanted to get flipped, really, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
but once
Because
you go over,
it rolls over really well. It comes back self-righting every time. It's a shame it didn't, because it's quite entertaining when it happens.
Yeah.
it looks quite fun.
We'll be back next year, definitely.
Too right you will.
Our wooden wheels really lasted. Dead metal's worse. He couldn't even saw through them.
Yay, that is fighting talk from the young man. Dead metals are worse, and we'll be back for a grudge match.